record button. Okay, so we're going to be recording, and we have Marie that is looking to get in. So let's let Marie in and just give her 1 second to. And here's Marcus. Okay, I guess I'm just too anxious. I should just wait a minute. Welcome, Marie. I hope you can hear me okay. And Marcus, welcome. And
Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
Very well.
Good, good. Well, we're just getting started. We had about 7 to 9 people signed up to come in tonight, and it looks like we have a few people here. I am going to be recording this, so for people that don't make it in, I'll be able to get it to them. So I want to talk about what we're doing here tonight, and thank you for coming. This is going to be a unique perspective on what a career in real estate looks like. And here's what I found years ago when I was thinking about a career in real estate. First of all, I didn't know who to talk to, who would give me the straight poop, right? To give me the real information that I needed. We do know that most companies, if you go to a company and you interview with a broker or the person that's hired to recruit people into the office, they're going to be talking about real estate from the perspective that everything's wonderful and it's roses and their company is the best to go to, and you just got to come to my company. And if you get into real estate, you know, you're going to make a lot of money, you're going to be happy, and life is going to be perfect. It's quite different than that. And so what I've tried to do is offer a realistic perspective of what a career in real estate is and what it means, because like the movie, there really is a good, a bad, and the ugly. There really is. And what I'm trying to do with this is to give you a realistic outlook of what a career in real estate might look like for you. I am on no mission tonight. I don't have a mission to recruit you into my office. You'll be hearing about my office a little bit because that's my only perspective. Obviously, if you do get into a career in real estate, I would love to help you. And but I'll be totally honest with you whether I think you know, I can help you, or my office where I work can help you or not. It's just, I've found it's just better to be straight up with everybody. And so that's what I try to do. I'm going to share my screen with you, and hopefully we're able to do this in just a second. Hit the play. Okay, so hopefully you can see my screen that says, have you thought about a career in real estate? Is that up and running okay? Kim, give me a thumbs up if it is. Great. Okay, so let's get started. So this is who I am. My name's Jim Mazziotti. I'm part of Exit Realty Elite with offices in Grapevine and Frisco, and serve the whole Frisco area, the whole North Texas area. A little bit about me. I think it's important just for perspective, not to stand on some kind of award stand or anything, but I've been in the business since 1992. This is my 30th year of being in real estate, and I've spoken around the country, still do speak. I'm part of an organization called the John Maxwell Team, which is a leadership team. So it takes me to various places around the country to speak about not only exit, and not just about real estate, but about books, the 65 books that John Maxwell has written, and talk about him. I've done residential, I've done resort, and I've done commercial property. So I can give you a feel for what each of those might bring to you if that's where you're leaning or have thought about where you might want to be in the real estate game, if in the real estate game at all. Picture I haven't showed anyone in my office, but these are some of the people in my office at one of our trainings that we had before I left. I moved to Texas in July of last year after spending 20 years in Bend, Oregon with a startup office called Exit Realty Bend. And these are part of the people that worked for me, who I coached and who I trained, and some of whom I recruited into Exit Realty. And some of whom might have attended the same kind of thing that you're watching tonight, because I've done this kind of a meeting talking about the straight up part of what real estate is. I'm really proud of these people, and I love them all, and I miss them. Uh, and this is a picture of one of the awards events at our exit convention that's held different parts of the United States every single year. And I'm up there somewhere receiving some kind of award from Exit Realty, but this isn't about me, it's about you. So let's talk about a little bit about real estate. First of all, one of the questions I'm asked for people who are considering a career in real estate is now a good time? It's now a good time to get into real estate. How is the market? And are things selling? And if I do get into real estate, is there enough business for me? Because there are so many real estate agents. I think there are some 25,000, something like that, in the North Texas area, or perhaps in Texas. There are over 1 million realtors in the United States. I think it's now 1.4 million realtors that are part of your competition, if you will. But what I can tell you is, at least in the North Texas marketplace and most of the country, the market is hot right now. And, you know, the norm for most realtors, believe it or not, are sales of about 3 to 4 transactions a year. It's quite remarkable. Actually, it's quite unremarkable on the number of transactions realtors average a year. There's no reason for that. And we can talk about that later. There is a lot of business that's available for you depending on what you do and what your focus is. But right now, as you can see, North Texas is dominating the real estate market across the country. So yeah, now is a great time to get into the real estate market. This just tells a little bit, it's a forecast, kind of big, blurry, and blown up a little bit, but this shows the number of buyers that are ready to buy homes and the housing forecast. Don't need to spend a lot of time on this, but what this shows in different parts of it is that, yes, this is an active market and home buyers will have a better chance to find a home in 2022. There's fierce competition. We don't have enough listings right now. Now, it gives someone who's going into the real estate business or in the real estate business the opportunity to talk to people who own homes and to show them how selling their home and selling at this time may be a really smart thing for them to do, just because of low interest rates and very high prices. So here's our goal tonight. I want to give you a 100% honest look at what a career in real estate really involves. Again, no agenda. There's no recruitment. You can ask me anything and I'll try to answer it as best as I can. I'm going to give you just the facts. And as I told you, I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. So the business of real estate is different. And it's different than a regular job because in real estate, you're in control. You shape your own destiny. You can work as hard as you want or as little as you want. You can focus in a specific area that you're interested in. For instance, I did resort properties. So I got to be on a resort every day and sell properties that were properties where everybody wanted to come and vacation and people would love to own. It was a great place to work and they were great properties to sell. I did that for 2 years. I loved it. I did commercial realty because I knew that I could shape my own destiny in that. I did that for a couple of years. And mostly I've done residential property. So in real estate, as it says in the second paragraph, you can build an ideal lifestyle. You can balance your work, your joy with great vacation time and family time. The reason I initially got into real estate is because I was coming out of our family owning 2 music retail businesses. And what I found in the retail music business, and especially in ownership, was that I was a slave to myself, to my own business. And I had 18 employees. And when one of them might be sick, guess who had to pick up the slack? It was me. It didn't matter if I had a vacation planned or a day off, or I had other things I wanted to do. I had to be there. And that happens a lot in retail. So I discovered that if I got into real estate, I would be able to shape my time more accordingly to how I wanted to live my life. So again, it says here, if approached with the right attitude, philosophy, and the habits, you can create the time, space, and flexibility to fuel a life that others, even lawyers, doctors, and corporate executives would drool over. And so, yes, I think a career in real estate is more than a day job. It really can be a dream job, but I don't want to be light on this. It's really, really hard work, and it takes a lot of hard work to be successful. But you can do it if you're all in. And what I found is most people who have not succeeded to the level that they had hoped will tell you themselves that perhaps they weren't all in, that they could have done more, that they could have taken a different road. And if they would have done a few things differently, they could have been successful. So is it time or is it time out? If you're tired of punching a clock, if you're tired of trading hours for dollars, which an hourly job has, and if you've always dreamed of having your own business, maybe real estate is the right thing for you. And it depends how you measure success. I found this graphic just a couple of weeks ago, and it fits me. You know, how we're taught to measure success is usually by our job title and by how much we make, right? We're all looking for that title. Maybe not all of us. Many people look for the title, and they're looking for the money. I think a better measure for your happiness, or for at least my happiness, is the job title is there. That's great. That you have a salary, or you have a way to make the money. You have enough free time. You love what you do. Your physical health is good, and your mental health maybe is even better. I think that may be a better measure for happiness than just about the top one, where it's about money and a job title. So I want you to think about this tonight. In most cases, the person you're doing a fabulous job for day in and day out felt the same way at some point. They aren't any smarter or any talented than you. They just might have been lucky. I was lucky. My family came from a retail music business, and when I came into it way back in 1975, that business, you couldn't go wrong. It was all built for me. I really had everything that anybody could ever want, except the control of time. And time is something I wanted. So they're just a little bit more committed to their vision, and maybe they were willing to take a risk. Well, getting into real estate, let me be perfectly clear and honest, is a risk. It's a definite risk. And but I believe that the rewards outweigh the risk. If you're not willing to work hard, I will say this, if you're not willing to work hard and do the things that you need to do, probably real estate isn't for you. You know, you're going to be your own boss. There's no one telling you to do this or to do that. It's up to you. Their picture, those people that you work for, perhaps, their picture was so clear that fear and failure didn't have a chance. And today they're living their dream. And most made their dream crystal clear. Most chose not to listen to those who said it couldn't be done. As a matter of fact, I can remember when I made the decision to go into real estate and I talked to my parents, they said, "Why would you do that? You've got something that has already been built for you, and you can't do this. You're not going to be able to do that. You've never done anything like real estate. You've been in retail music business forever. You can't do it." So I chose not to listen to them, thankfully. I thank them for their advice, but I went about my own way. So how do you define success? I ask each one of you here, how do you define success? And for me, just for me, success is not about money. Is money important? Hell, yes, it's important. You have to feed your family. You have to be able to plan for retirement. You have to have house payments. You have to eat. You know, you have to plan your life. But I believe success is finding purpose in what you do. And success is an expression of passion and the realization of building a sustainable business. Success, further, is contributing to the life of others. And ultimately, I believe success is generating enough income to fund your ideal lifestyle. I think that makes a lot of sense, especially where it says Success is contributing to the life of others, because there may not be any other business than real estate where you can actually contribute to the life of others and help them get a piece of what we call the American dream. It's not pie in the sky. The American dream is for real. And in real estate, you're able to change people's lives by helping them realize what home ownership can mean to them and to their families. So the truth here's some problems. It's a fickle future. You're only as good as your last transaction. So you have to build a pipeline. You have to build the business a piece at a time, just like a pipeline would be built, you know, one piece at a time until it's completed. And you're only as good as your last transaction. So you have to keep putting things into the pipeline. Secondly, there's a lack of instant financial gratification. It does not happen overnight. I promise you, income will not happen overnight. Building your real estate business takes time, it takes patience, and it's really hard work. Third, it's a present tense business. For real estate agents, traditional real estate companies, when they stop doing business, guess what? The income stops. So you have to build it and you have to maintain it. Next, it's an ego-driven business. This is the one part of real estate that I dislike the most, is in many places, everyone looks out for themselves. And it might even be within the company you work for and with, if you do a real estate license. That's why culture is so important, and knowing what the culture of an office is, because there can be a number of ego-driven people that it's all about them. You know the type. You know the kind of people that you wouldn't want to be around because they think they're better than anybody else. Well, in the real estate business, there are those people. There are those people that have to have the biggest Mercedes, that have to be in the biggest office, that wear the best clothes and all of that. Some of them are just full of themselves. That's part of the business I hate, but it's part of the business. Inhibition, cold calling, and talking to people that you don't know is not easy for most of us. For most of us, it's fear. The number one fear of all of us is speaking in front of people. That's the number one fear in the world. And trust me, in real estate, you don't have to speak in front of large audiences necessarily, but guess what? When you speak, you're hoping that the people you're speaking to, your clients, listen. And sometimes inhibition plays a part of it. Next, a lack of solid fact-based training systems and support. So what I will tell you is, if you decide to get into the business of real estate and you're looking for the right company to be with, make sure they have solid fact-based training systems and support to help you. Without it, you'll be lost. There's some big companies out there, everybody. There's some huge companies where you just become a number. And so I've never been much interested in the great big companies, the great big huge brand names. For me, that it didn't do anything for my ego. And I knew that I would be just one of many. And maybe that's okay for you, but I believe that you need to look for a company that is going to show you training systems and support. For example, if you were to ask one question when you interview for a real estate company, we'll just say that you are going to move forward to get a real estate license. The number one question you should ask whomever is interviewing you for the job, and basically you interviewing them to work for their company, is, tell me how you're going to train me. And not just train me, but specifically lay out how you're going to train me. I know in my company, one thing I would say is, I am going to work with you one-on-one for a number of weeks until you have a total grasp of the systems and support that we have, specifically one-on-one training. So that, I think that's the kind of question you'd want to ask the interviewer or the company where you're at. Next, there's a desk fee dilemma. And you need to learn the ins and outs of how you get paid and how much you have to pay to be part of a company. So be aware that some companies charge huge desk fees to be part of their company. The desk fees can be up to $2,000 a month just to have your license hung in the company. And they offer some benefits for that. They may give you a desk, for instance, with a window, and they may give you a computer to work with, but you need to know exactly how much is it going to cost me to be in this office. There are some offices, for example, that when they pay you from a transaction, you get 100% of the total commission. You get it all, but you have to pay the company a certain fee from that. Some companies offer only a percentage, and the broker takes some, you get most, and that's part of how they break down the fees for their company. So desk fees are a huge thing. Make sure that you know what the desk fees are, if there are desk fees in the company you go to. Next, it all depends on you. You're in business for yourself and unfortunately by yourself. So that's some of the things that are bad. The facts that most people won't tell you, but I will, is right now there are 1.373 million real estate agents. That's as of March 2020. The typical realtor is 54 years old, white female, attended some college, and is a homeowner. 67% of all realtors are women, and the median age of these agents is 52. The median experience of all realtors is 8 years. That's not a high thing for you to have to get to as a new agent. It's nothing to really be scared of. I mean, it's not like most agents have been in the business for 20 or 30 years like me. Most have been in for about 8 years. The median tenure at their present firm is 4 years. Realtors are known to move a little bit, move from office to office. I don't know if that's good or bad, but sometimes realtors move for the right and the wrong reasons. Most realtors work 35 hours a week in 2018. These statistics are from the National Association of Realtors. Excuse me. I'm not sure that I believe that most realtors work 35 hours a week. I think they work a lot less than that, but that's just me. The median gross income of realtors in 2018, the median gross income again was $41,800. It's climbed a bit. I think it's up over 50,000, about $54,000 right now, maybe more, because home prices are at all-time highs, and the only problem is there's just not enough inventory to sell. So the income, as you can see here, is not something that you're going to go, gosh darn, I'm going into this. I am going to be rich, because the fact is, it's likely you're not going to be rich. Well, you're not going to be rich for the first several years. I can almost promise you that, unless you connect with the right people and get a little bit lucky. The formal education, some college, 30%, a bachelor's degree, 31%, graduate degree, 13, associate, 13, some graduate school, 6%, high school graduates, 8%. So it's not a high level of education that you have to fear. It's not like you're going into or want to get into a line of work where most of the people are college graduates that you have to contend with getting a job. It's a pretty low level. It's pretty much blue collar America, really, maybe upper blue collar that are realtors. Okay, how do agents work? Realtors most often prefer to communicate with their clients through email. Okay, so how am I going to have to talk to people? Well, 93% communicate through email. Realtors who are 49 or younger were most likely to have a real estate blog. Okay, do a little bit of writing, have a website, be able to talk about real estate intelligently. More than 73% of all realtors use social media. So are you a social media person? I certainly have not been. I've had to work at it. And so if you're not, with 73% using social media, probably now it's 80%, maybe it's more. You've got to be willing to understand, I believe, technology is going to not rule your life, but it's definitely going to be on your shoulder all the time, talking in your ear all the time. 48% of all real estate firms cited keeping up with technology as one of the biggest challenges facing their firm in the next 2 years. So here's a stunning fact in real estate. Hopefully you can see it and the screen isn't blocked. The stunning fact is 87% of all realtors who've secured a real estate license today will not be in the real estate business in 5 years. 87%. Does that scare the bejesus out of you? Because I think it should be something you take note of if you're considering a career in real estate. I definitely think you need to know of this fact, but I don't think you need to be scared of it if you have an intention of not being one of the 87%, because you're going to work hard, you're going to train hard, and you're going to learn the business. But the fact is, I think the 87% that fail in the business, that fall out of the business, do so because they didn't have the right training in the first place. So if you're getting the idea that I think training's important, I don't think there's anything more important for the success of any real estate agent than to be trained. So how can you be in the 13% who succeed, who don't fail? Well, I think you need to find an office, if you choose to get into real estate, where mentorship, where one-on-one training and a clear focus on your success are paramount to their mission. There are some companies that, let me try to explain this, that are desk fee companies. And so what it means is that every realtor that's in a company pays a fee every month to be there. And so some companies, their model is to recruit as many agents as possible who will provide that monthly fee that will then provide the income to move the office forward to becoming bigger than they already are. There are some companies like that. Their primary focus is get as many people as they possibly can. Because they know and they can gauge how much money they're going to have in their coffers at the end of the day. So some of those offices really don't care whether you succeed or not, and they have a rotating door. I could name the number one company in America right now, and I'm not going to name them, but the number one company recruits and has more agents than any other company probably in the world, but at least in America. But what people don't know is they also have the number one outdoor of people who leave their company to move to other companies because they're not successful. Number two, ask the company, again, I'm pushing this, but I'm sincere about this. Ask the company specifically how they will help you achieve your goals. And if they don't have an answer, or if they don't care to tell you, then I think you need to go to the next company. You need to find somebody who wants to help you achieve your goals. Next, don't focus on a split. So while fees and commissions and splits are important, training is the most important key to your success. If I were to say to you tonight that if you come to my company, you come to Jim's Real Estate, I'm making it up, you come to Jim's Real Estate, and I'm going to pay you a 95% commission on everything that you do, okay? What does that mean if you don't close anything, if you don't have any transactions? It means 95% of nothing is nothing. So companies have different splits. Every company is different. Some might offer a 50% split where when you sell something, the company gets 50% and you get 50%. They might have a 60-40 split or a 40-60 or a 70-30 or an 80-20 or even 100% split. So no, there are different kinds of splits. There are different kinds of ways to get paid in the real estate business. So just be aware that if you do move forward with real estate, that now you're aware of some of these things that you wouldn't have been aware of if you just happened to walk into ABC Realty and you happen to like the broker and you decided to work there. You may not know of all the opportunities and differences there are in companies. There's more keys to your success. Ask about the firm's commitment to and the availability of technology tools that are cutting edge, and ask if they have a technology expert available to assist you with the newest and most effective technology. and technologies. I decided to hang my license where I did, 15 years ago partially because of the technology. They had everything that I didn't have. They even had a person that was a technology expert. Annette Anthony is a person in our company, and she knows it all. I can call her and say, I don't know diddly squat about TikTok, and what the heck is that? And can you help me figure out how to work this TikTok thing? So look for an office that can help you with technology tools. There's many more technology tools as well. Ask about marketing tools that can help set you apart from other agents and demonstrate to potential clients you are in the best position to help them. I talked about this today in a class we had in our office, how a marketing plan and marketing tools are so important to your success. And marketing tools that are already made for you help make you look good when you're getting started. I'm not a marketer. That's not what I went to college for. That's not what I trained for. I'm a real estate agent. I'm really good at that, but I'm not really good at marketing. I'm not really good at technology. So think about the help you're going to need and the kind of company you might be interested in where you can lean on those people. I talked about culture before, and I believe culture is huge. There are offices that are very welcoming, warm, very comfortable places to be. And there are others where people are in it for themselves, and you can smell it. You can just smell it when you walk into an office. You can see it. I was with one of the first offices I was in was a Northwestern company called Windermere, very well known, excellent company. But in that particular office, everybody was in it for themselves. And when I came, I was just this strange guy that was a competitor to everybody, and no one wanted to help me. When I went to my next office on the resort, people were welcoming, and they said, well, let us help you be successful, because the truth is, when you're successful, we're successful, and the company's successful. So without a doubt, culture must be a priority, unless you're comfortable working in a place that's toxic. And I've never liked to work in toxic environments. Decide what environment you're most comfortable in. Ask what kinds of agents occupy the office. Ask what kind of environment the office provides. Ask if there's a company commitment to giving back. Giving back is one of the main principles of the company I work for, where they've given almost $7 million back to Habitat for Humanity and to other charities. I think that's important. I think your clients think that's important when you're talking to them about your business and the potential of listing their home and telling them, here's how much I charge for my services, and here's some of what I do with what I get paid. And show that you're a part of the community and that you do give back, that you're not just a taker, that you're also a giver. Ask if agents help one another for the good of all. That's hugely important. It's hugely important that you have an office where if you have a question and the principal managing broker of the company happens not to be there, that you can pick up the phone and you can call somebody that's in the office and say, hey, listen, I just need a little bit of help. There's a couple people on this call right now that understand that. Jerry and Kim get that whole thing. They're part of an office that they get it. They know that they can call me. I know I can call them. So it's a place where people feel good about where they're working, and they're willing to help other people be successful, because there's nothing better than to see success. So security and income stream. So ask if the company provides a way for you to build your business with passive income and additional income opportunities. It can be shown, explained, supported, and are based on fact. So this is just another stream of income. And I would strongly suggest you would look at a company that offers a third stream of income, not just from selling homes or listing homes or working with buyers, but also that can provide you with a way to build your business with passive income, which in company I work for, it's called single level residuals. There are other companies that have other types of income streams that I don't necessarily really agree with or like, and that's why I'm not there. I'm with the company I have, but it's always nice if you can earn income because of the good things you do in your office and help other people. So, office selection must. When and if you interview offices, you must ask, how do you stay connected to your agents? You want somebody in the office who's going to connect with you, someone who walks the office, talks about the office, is part of the office, not somebody that sits on a pedestal somewhere and doesn't talk to lowly agents like me or you. You want to stay connected. You want leadership traits that sets you apart from other brokers' offices. Look at the broker that is operating the office, or the management team or leadership team in the office, and what leadership traits might they have? And do you think that they appear to be good people and the kind of people you'd want to work with? Also, what is their vision and what's your vision and the mission? And I would look at what is your why, the hugest thing. If you do decide to do this real estate thing, I think you need to ask yourself, why are you doing it? You just have to. If it's only for the money, I believe that's a single reason that's wrong. But if it's about the money and if it's about helping people, I think you're on the right track. And when I've asked agents about their why throughout the years, they'll usually, if we start where I ask them maybe a series of 5 to 7 questions about their why, where I say, why are you in real estate? They'll usually start by, well, I know that I can earn a lot of money. And when I say, well, what's important about making a lot of money? Well, once you get past money, it's usually about family. And it's about providing. It's about being successful. It's about maybe being better and having a better life than how you grew up. I had one agent that when I asked his why, he said, I want to be a good father. And I think real estate can help me be a better father because I know I'm going to earn more money and be able to support my kids. And I said, well, so what's important to you about that? He says, well, I think if I can support my kids and we have what we need, I won't end up like my father. I won't be an abusive father. I don't want to be that kind of father. And when we got to the final question, it had nothing to do with money. It had everything to do about family. So examine what's important to you. What is your why? And I think if it includes you want to be able to be put in a position where you can be highly successful financially, and you can be highly successful as a member of your family as well. You have to decide. So how do you get a license to become a realtor? This is Oregon, because I still hold a principal broker's license in the state of Oregon, where I was for 15 years, but it really rolls over pretty much. These are basic things. To have a license here in Texas, you're not going to be a broker. You're going to be a salesperson. You have to be 18 years old. You have to have a high school diploma or something equivalent. Something equivalent to that. You have to, this is Oregon. I'm going to skip past this and let's go to this. You're going to have to register, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to skip past that. You're going to have to, I'm going to go to this, take 180 pre-license course. And there are providers that will help you do that. I'm actually affiliated with a company that could help you for a huge discount, get all your 180 hours out of the way, which you have to have. So I can help you with that, and I'll show you the screen later on. But figure that these are the basic costs of becoming a real estate agent. About $350 to $1,000 for the pre-license course, probably closer to $500. The state exam fees, $54. The Texas real estate application fees, $205. Fingerprinting is about $39. This is reflective from when I just got my license that I had to get in Texas, and I did mine in November. The recovery trust funds, $10. So it's going to be between $658 and $1,300 to secure a real estate license. I think it's pretty safe to say. So if you came today, how much does this thing cost? Plan on about $1,000 to get into the business. And once you get in, it continues because you have to be part of organizations such as the MLS and here in Collin County, the CCAR. And you can see as of January 2021 for the year, what it would cost. These are beyond what I just showed you. $734 includes being part of the NAR, the National Association of Realtors, the Texas Association of Realtors, the Collin County Association of Realtors. There's an application fee. If you're new, they figure they can just throw on $100 and make $100 on you. I don't know what it's for and what they do with it, but I'm sure they have a nice lunch or something on that. You're going to have other fees, first quarter fees. You have to belong to some organization. So this will give you a cost estimate. You should be able to jot down on a piece of paper that if I plan for $2,000 my first year, I think I'm going to be about okay. Kim, would you say, Jerry, would you say about that? Would you agree? More or less, right? More or less. Okay. Now that depends what kind of office you go to. If you go to an office that has $1,000, fee every month for a desk fee, that's $12,000. So figure it out. Okay. So various office fees can be a monthly desk fee, individual transaction fees, tech services, franchise fee. Gosh, look at that very closely, everyone. If you do interview with one of the big boys and girls, the ones with the big red, white, and blue balloon, there's other companies like them. Ask, find out exactly what the commission split's going to be, because some of the companies, franchise company, charge additional fees. They might say they're a 70% office, but then when you go to get paid, they actually took another 8% for franchise fees that go to the guy that owns the big balloon that flies in the sky. And I'm not picking on that particular company, but you just need to look at that. You have to find out if flyers and printing cost money, who covers education fees, because you have to continually get education, continuing education's credits. The Texas Real Estate Agency wants to make sure you stay up to date with real estate law, so you will be able to help people who are generally buying the most expensive thing they'll ever buy. Think of this, everyone. For a couple $1,000s, you are in business to be able to sell the most expensive thing most of us ever buy in our lives, a house. And right now, they're the most expensive they've ever been. So the real estate agency wants to make sure that you have the education. You want to find out, do virtual tours cost money? Is there a fee for a website? Is there a call capture system? Are there technology fees? Is there digital marketing fees? What else? And here's some hints for your success. Ask the principal broker. I think this is huge. If they're a competitive broker. What a competitive broker is would mean that the broker owner of the company not just trains and offers a place for you, but they also compete with you for leads. I've never been comfortable with that. Okay. I want a broker who is going to give me the best opportunity or those agents who are the best trained to get those leads rather than taking them himself or herself. Ask if the company has a lead generation system. Consider interviewing agencies before you begin the classes. You can do that. You can walk into any office right now and you can say, "Hi, I am Joe Blow. I am considering getting a real estate license. Are you hiring real estate agents right now that are working either part-time or full-time? I'd like to hear more." Do it before. You can certainly find out about them before you do it. You want to ask who will be working with you. Who's going to be training me? How are they available when I need them? Ask also, can I begin training while studying for the real estate examination? That's, I think, can be huge. I can tell you about one person I can think of right off the bat. Her name was Kelly Shanks. She came to my company and she said, I think I want to be a real estate agent. And I haven't started anything yet. So tell me a little bit about it. And I did, told her things like this. She said, "Well, I think I want to do it." She says, "Listen, while I'm studying all this stuff, it's 150 hours in Oregon, 180 hours in Texas. She said, can I come to some of your classes, some of your training? And she did. And I still do that today for people, even though they aren't licensed with the company yet that I'm with. I'll train them. So when they do get their license, they're ready to go. They don't have to then, okay, I got my license. I just spent $1,500. Now what do I do? It's more like, okay, I've spent $1,500. I already have a marketing plan. I already know the systems and I'm ready to go. So look for a company that might offer you training before you're even licensed. I think that will tell you a lot about the company. So ask if you can begin studying before you even start your 180 hours. Ask if the company provides a paperless system for writing offers and tracking transactions. Some don't. Unbelievably, there's some companies that still work only with paper. God, there's probably some companies that still fax offers into people. There probably are. I mean, again, to get a real estate license, all you have to do is pass a test. Okay. You take 180 hours and pass a test. So there's some people that are in this business that maybe shouldn't be and probably are happy writing offers on paper. Not that that's bad. I still write some offers on paper depending on the situation that I'm in. Ask if the company provides a top-rated CRM system. That's a contact management system. And I think a couple people that are here would tell you the first thing that I told them when I talked to them is you have to identify your top 100. Okay. You have to find the people that you know. Those are the best chance you have to doing real estate from the very beginning. And you want to put them into a system where you can stay in contact with them professionally. Next, I just want to talk about the CE shop. That's where you would get the education if you decided that you want to do it. You don't have to do it tonight. This is not any pressure to do anything, but this company is offering 40% off of their normal fee of what they charge for all of the pre-licensed materials. So if you're interested, just let me know and I can help you get the 40% discount from the company. Yes, I am an affiliate with the company, and yes, I get a small percentage if you do decide to do it. So I want you to know that. And I actually offer scholarships to a very limited number of people where I will work with them, I will talk with them, and I will offer to help them offset their fees, their licensing fees, their education fees. And it's done on an interview process where I would interview the person. And if I think you're the kind of person that would provide the payback to me for the classes that I would provide to you, I would consider doing that as a scholarship. It's on a one-by-one basis, and we would need to talk one-on-one on that system. So I've thrown a lot at you. And so I am ready for any question that you can come up with. And you can ask me anything, as dumb as you might think it is, as personal as you might think it is. I'll answer any question you ask me because I told you this is totally honest. So go ahead if you have a question. No questions? I did that good? I'm that good of a presenter that there's no questions? Come on, there's got to be questions. I don't want to pick on anybody or anything, but does anybody have any kind of questions that they might have that I can answer?
I do. I have a question.
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
The question I have is, would you recommend a person to, once they started studying and doing all the training and everything, would you prefer them to start part-time and have additional income coming in from other sources and then move into full-time status?
Yeah, that's a great, Marcus, that's a huge and important question. Know, first of all, that if you're going to enter the real estate business as a part-time agent, there are some companies that won't want you. They won't want, they won't want to invest in you in any way. So just know that, first of all. There's other times where the only way someone can get into this business is with holding a job at the same time and hoping to be able to get into the business while working a part-time job and be able to buy themselves out of the part-time job by, okay, I'm going to do it part-time, but once I sell a couple properties and I receive the commissions and I feel comfortable enough that I'll be able to make my house payments or rent for the next 4 months, 6 months, that I'm going to be able to make my car payment. When I get that kind of money from the real estate transactions that I do, that's when I'm going to make the transition and tell my people at my other job, thanks for everything, I'm moving on. But Marcus, it's a really hard thing. I would recommend whenever possible, and you're entering the business of real estate, that you have 4 to 6 months of money that will hold you for that amount of time, because it can take that long to get a transaction. Now, there's ways to get transactions sooner than that, but I mean, it means beating the pavement. It means working really hard. And it's hard to do with a part-time job. I think the expression is it's pretty difficult to serve, two gods, whatever it might be. I think it's hard to do it. But can you, Marcus? Sure you can. You can. And that might be something that, we could talk about, where you might be able to describe to me the type of job you have and how much it pays and how much you need. One of the questions I always ask when I'm talking to people is, how much do you want to make and how much do you have to make? And where I try to help people get is to where they have to make this much in order to live. And so we shoot for, let's get it out of the way. How much you have to make. We can go for what you want to make later, because it's going to come if you stick with it. But keep in mind, 87% of all people fail at this, but it's not because they're dumb. It's not because they're lazy. I believe it's because most part they haven't been trained properly. That's my belief. That's a great question. Any other questions? Pernell, do you have anything? Christine or Marie, does anybody have something you'd like to ask? Because this is time. Yeah, go ahead.
Mine would have been about the doing it part-time thing, because that's what I'm considering, the route I'm considering going. So.
Yeah. So hopefully that maybe answered a little bit of your question, that yeah, you can. You can take all these classes while you're working part-time. You can even work part-time. But what I would say is work with someone, a company or a person within the company, that can help build a plan for you on how to do it before you actually do it and find out that you spent all this money and and now you're broke because you spent all your money doing it. So talk to somebody. I would welcome the opportunity to talk to you, Pernell, and the same to you, Marcus, if because you need somebody to bounce this off, right? And this is something you just can't bounce off somebody that's never done this. Now, the real estate business is pretty unique. So it's pretty hard to talk to mom and dad about this because they really don't know the inner workings, right? And
That's all right.
Yeah, so find somebody that you can talk honestly and truthfully with that can help you. Okay. Anyone else? Christine, you're shy, and Marie, maybe, but you can certainly ask a question if you have one. I'll be happy to answer it.
Hi, Jim. This is Christine.
Hi, Christine. Thank you for being here.
Sure. Thanks for doing this evening. It's been very informational.
Sure.
I just, as far as getting a real estate license, how does it translate from like state to state? Like when you came from Oregon to Texas, what did you have to do to get established in Texas?
To get established or to get a license?
To get, I guess first to get a license.
Well, first to get a license, every state is different.
Okay.
Some states offer reciprocity. So if you're licensed in one state, you can be licensed in another state, usually with a little bit of education and paying them more money. I come from a state of Oregon, which had no reciprocity. So when I left Oregon, and I originally was in Iowa, I'm a corn dog from Iowa. And so when I went from Iowa to Oregon, there was no reciprocity. So I was a principal broker in Iowa. I had to take all the classes again and get licensed in Oregon. And then when I decided to leave Oregon and move to be with Texas with my family, I had to do it all over again. So I've actually taken 6 real estate examinations to be a salesperson, then a broker, then a salesperson and a broker, and now just, I guess, 5, and just a salesperson here. So that's what I had to do. I don't know, Jerry, Kim, do you know what states Texas has reciprocity with? I'm Oklahoma, maybe? None? Don't know?
I don't know.
Okay.
Never
I'm not
looked at it.
sure, but I think you could check in, Christine. I think you could check, because if you were considering going somebody else, you can still be licensed in Texas, but then you may have to just do the requirements for that particular state that you're going to move into. It's just, you just have to check with the state.
Yeah, every state, the honest answer, Christine, is every state is different.
Sure.
Now, if you're talking now, how do I get established here? I depending on how I want to get established at this season of my life is probably different than the rest of you. You're all young people, and I'm past the young stage. So my getting settled here and doing what I want to do, what I would do if I really wanted to go gun ho at this business. I'm doing mostly training right now. And recruiting as well. But if I wanted to, I would build my plan on how I had to do. It would be build a list of the names of people, find a neighborhood that I wanted to work and become the specialist in that area, know the statistics up and down, join whatever clubs or church or whatever to meet people, because you've got to talk to people. I'm not an extrovert, I'm an introvert. So it's really hard for me to walk into a group of people that I don't know, but it's one of those things that I've just made myself do, because the best chance you have of doing transactions is talking to people who need to buy and or sell property. And if you don't talk to anybody, you're not going to do any business. So I would build, if I were going to, Christine, start over again, from ground zero or whatever, I would just start by doing the basics that I teach. I would just build it from the ground up and meet as many people as I could, and to make sure people knew my face, knew my name, and trusted me. And trust is the number one ingredient. What I will tell you is, if you have a friend base here, I'm presuming you're all from Texas, but wherever you're at, if you already have a friend base, know that your friend base probably will help you if they're looking to buy or sell property, but you need to make sure they know that you're a realtor. And I would guess most of your friends and those people that trust you. They like you and they trust you. So you've already established the likability and you've already established trust. You don't have the knowledge yet, but most of your friends, family, and business associates that you've worked with, they'll give you the chance. They'll believe in you if they know that you can be trusted. So I would really look towards that. Christine, I hope that answered what you.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Marie, you're the only quiet one. Do you have any questions?
You're pretty good. You've kind of covered lots of things.
I know, I really am good at that. No, I'm glad that I covered at least most of the things that you need to know. Great. So here's the last thing. I just want you to jot down my phone number, because you can also text me at this number. I'm not going to give you all kinds of websites and all that kind of stuff. My phone number, my text number is 541-480-8835. I should have had a screen and all that stuff. 541-480-8835. Just reach out to me and I'll try to answer any question. I would love to sit down with you if that's something you would feel better about. The office I work in is in Frisco. I also can make a trip to Grapevine, where Exit Realty Elite has a second office. And I'll talk to you straight. If you want to talk about Exit, which I haven't talked about tonight, but if you want to talk about what does Exit have, listen, I could go for a couple hours on Exit because I love the company and I've been with it 15 years and I've had the opportunity to go to other companies and, get paid to go to other companies. and there's just no way I would ever leave, but that's me. So I'd be happy to talk to you about anything you want to. Just please take that number and text me if you need something. If I don't get to you right away, I promise I'll get to you before the end of the day, something like that. Jerry, Kim, do you have any questions, thoughts, anything you'd like to add?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, Jerry,
Good
I'm
stuff.
glad. Thank you for being here. Kim, you have anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, of course. The second one I've sit in on, you do a great job, and I enjoy listening to you talk. And then Christine and Marie, thanks so much for just even just giving this a moment. I think if it's something that you might want to do, consider it. Talk to Jim, talk to me, and just it's a decision that you make. So I think it's important, and it was important to hear Jim speak about it because I think he's passionate about it.
Great. Well, thanks for taking an hour and 2 minutes out of your day. And hopefully all these icicles behind me are going to melt soon, and I'll be out and about tomorrow and the next day, and you guys too. So have a great day. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Bye-bye.
See you